Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the AEW Dynamite review for the 18th of May 2022. So, I'm going to run down the card and give you some opinions and some ideas, some suggestions and criticisms if necessary. I'm an AEW fan, but I think constructive criticism is always worthwhile. So, um, let's kick off. So, first match on the show, we had Samoa Joe against Johnny Elite. So this was the joke. Johnny Elite was the Joker. So he's had a few names in different promotions, but he's always Johnny anyway. So I just thought this was very strange booking again, really, because he's a good talent. He's Johnny really, and he was big in the other company, so he's a big name. But I just think bringing someone in, kind of jobbing them out on the first match, I just don't really see why you do that. Really, I mean, they could have brought anyone in to do this TV match. So, I mean, if they're not going to use him again, then it kind of makes a bit more sense. But why would you do that? Someone who's potentially could be a big star for you, and you could have built him up. What I think that this is what they do this quite often. Build these people up a bit for a few weeks. You don't have to do it on Dynamite, but the dark and elevation and stuff, and then put them into a big match. It's just I think you're wasting opportunities here because there's only so many. There's only once when somebody can debut anyway. So I just thought that was really wasted opportunity. So the match itself was pretty good though, I suppose. You've got Samoa Joe's always in for a good legit match anyway. And Johnny's obviously a good talent. There was the Johnny Elite missed a 430 splash, I think it was, or something, or some sort of dive, which looked pretty rubbish. And he was also waiting ages on the top rope to do his somersault. So it just looked a bit contrived that. So, I think when you're doing that, if someone's not ready for the spot or whatever, just change tack or whatever. But it just kind of looked it looked like he was really labouring on the top rope, waiting for, the right positioning or whatever, which just I don't really think this is a good look really. I mean, if you want to do these big spots, then save them for a big event. But again, like we talked about, this is the guy's debut. I mean, Johnny Elite, or formerly Johnny Impact, was Impact World Champion for a long time. Big name. So yeah, I like the match. As I say, it was a pretty okay match, apart from the fact that what I mentioned. But I just think, why bring someone in like this and just lose on the debut? It doesn't make sense. And they've got people fighting for like the TNT title who are really really boring. Well, the champion's really boring, and quite a lot of people are pushing are really boring. And they've got this guy who's extremely charismatic, very very talented, and you do that, don't get it. So anyway, that's where we are with that. But the AEW does this a lot, really, and brings people in for one match and just kind of like ruins them straight away. You need to build people up. And Joker thing as well. It could have been anybody, and you didn't have to bring a big name in, really. And it just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, moving on, we had an interview with Jeff Hardy and the Young Bucks. This was building up their dream match at pay-per-view, which, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. And this is a real big dream match, and I think this is one of the things that everyone's been looking forward to when the Hardys joined AEW, the Hardy Bucks. So yeah, I think this is really good, and kind of Jeff Hardy's booking's been a bit all over the place, really, and his brother even worse, really, for a long time with that family office nonsense. So finally, they're doing something with them. So, maybe you would have expected it to be for a title though, but still, I think it's going to be a good match. But to me, Jeff Hardy's been doing crazy stuff in every match, even not even big matches. So, I don't know how special this is going to be at pay per view because he's anyway, we'll see. But again, I think it's a good match. Looking forward to it. So good interview. So tick on that box because building for the big sort of dream match really. So that's really good. Then we had another match which Adam Page, your world champion, in the second match on the card. Strange, but kind of makes sense in a way when you realise that Adam Page just isn't a draw, isn't a good champion, isn't really over at all, really. And it proves that you this guy's in your second match. You really want to see your champion in your main event, but because the guy in championship caliber, that's why, isn't it? So yeah, I call him Cry Boy, Adam Page, because he just looks pathetic. I think this is his real. I think this is who he is as a real guy, though. I don't think it's an act. I think he is just that kind of guy. Wears rainbow colours and drives a Tesla and looks pathetic. So yeah, really poor world champion. But anyway, this Takeshita guy, probably mispronounced that, but I changed his name really. But he looks really impressive actually. For a Japanese guy, he's got really good size and looks quite legit. Haven't heard of him before, but yeah, I really like him. And this is a guy who was, thinking about this when I was thinking about this match. You've got like Wheeler Yuta who they're pushing. Don't know why for some reason, because he's obviously of Asian descent. That's what Tony Khan seems to say. But Takeshita, he's Japanese. I mean, he looks well talented, this guy. So, I don't know if he's in just for a quick run, but this is a guy you could do something with. Really. I'd say change his name, give him a, smarten his gimmick up a bit, but talent-wise, looks really, really good. And as I say, for a Japanese guy, he's got a bit of size, which is kind of rare, really, in New Japan. So, the only on the match side of things, I don't think either of them were really selling anything really much. And Adam Page doesn't seem to know how to sell anything at all. I don't think he can sell tickets either for his matches or anything either. So he's pretty bad at selling overall. But yeah, I like the match. Really like the match actually. Surprisingly, I mean, Adam Page can do a decent match. I just find the guy pathetic and uninteresting. But it's all right in the ring. But I mean, I think they take a shit guy look better. I think he looked better than your champion. Not surprising, really, but yeah, there you go. Yeah, so yeah, good match again. So the first two matches on this show, I've enjoyed them, but there's been things wrong with them, but not really the match itself. This Adam Page is the problem in this match, but there's a lot of potential in this Take a Share guy. So yeah, do something with him definitely. So yeah, as I say, maybe move out Wheeler Yuta and put this guy in the Combat Club. That'd look awesome, wouldn't it? They won't do it, but yeah. So be interesting to see if he does do anything else. Anyway, this Japanese bloke. Then we had a bit of CM Punk on commentary, and I think he kind of came down as well. I think with an abortion rights T-shirt, which up to him is his opinion. I don't agree with this really. Like I said before, I don't agree with bringing politics into your wrestling company. I just think the idea of your company is to appeal to a broad cross section of people, not sort of disenfranchised people. But AEW seems like this is what they're all about, So, and I haven't particularly got a strong opinion either way on this. So, I'm not speaking in that respect. But I don't like political things in wrestling. The other company don't really do this. Some of the storylines might be kind of leaning, but they don't really do this. I don't think it's a good idea. And I think personally, this is one of the main reasons why AEW can't improve the ratings and can't get over 1 million people, because they're basically telling a good percentage of the population that they're not interested in them. They don't want them to watch the show. So I don't get that at all. And I understand everyone's got certain political views, and people probably maybe are running this show have, and maybe probably the network certainly has actually. But the idea surely is to get as many people watching as possible, not kind of turn them away. So yeah, I didn't like that, at all. And I do like CM Punk. I think he's one of the best talents. But this is the company. The company should be saying to people, don't do it. We've had loads of people. We've had Adam Page did a similar thing a couple of weeks ago. We've had Dante Martin with his political statements as well. And I think Eddie Kingston as well at some stage. This is obviously an AEW thing. But it's interesting that you aren't allowed to have political statements on certain other issues. So interesting, eh? Yeah. So yeah. So interesting start to the show, because the match quality has been really good, but the background of the matches has not been great. So that's interesting, isn't it? So, and that's all AEW's creative booking fault, really. So just goes to show, even though you've got the talent and you've got the matches, if the underlying stuff isn't right, it's not going to work, is it? So anyway, good match anyway. And I like this Take a Shit guy, as I say, like him a lot. So next up we got Swerve and Keith Lee against the Workhorsemen. So kind of a bit of a bit of the exhibition match again, which we mentioned before, but I don't mind this necessarily. Getting someone over, and the Workhorsemen, even though they wasn't really introduced, or we've never really done an interview. So, which kind of doesn't make sense, but yeah, I like, again, don't mind these kind of matches. Lee and Swerve look good, but I'm just thinking, Keith Lee was a bit of a big signing, really, literally a big signing. But what has he done since his debut? Not really much, has he? Again, you're bringing someone in, there's no momentum anywhere. Apart from really a few of the big names in AEW, there's no momentum behind anyone. They kind of bring them in, they get kind of lost in the shuffle, mixed into tag matches, don't art on TV much. So, yeah, don't really know what. He hasn't really done anything of no, and he's, his tag matches are fine, but he came in as a big star, a single star. Strange, but he's not the only one, is he? There's other people who have come in, big names, and just kind of like they're too busy pushing people who haven't got any talent than people. I mean, like let's for example, you got Adam Page. Malachi Blacks should have been in the title picture. Keith Lee could have been fighting for the TNT title and making that a bit more interesting. So things could have been done. So yeah, some nice comments as well in this match, or post match comments. About Swerve made a good one. Bar of soap with a pearl necklace, directed at Ricky Starks. That was quite a good line. So we've got a 3-way tag match coming up, looks like. So I don't mind that for the title, but again, I don't think any of these teams are in the top 3 best teams in AEW. So, again, it doesn't feel right either. You got FTR, obviously one of the best teams in the world. The Bucks again, and the Hardys maybe as well. Really, if you're having a title match, Bucks Hardys maybe, or FTR involved. I don't know. I just feel like I don't really know what these teams have done to deserve a title match, really, when you've got other teams that are better around. Penta and Phoenix are back, for example. you know. So yeah, but it'll be all right match, but it's not to me. It's not a title match to me for me, but let's see what happens. I suppose they're just doing it to get these guys on TV or on screen, and or I guess, but to me, your title match, your tag title match should, there should be some class, some good teams in there, some of your best teams, but we'll see how it goes anyway. Bit of an interview after that with Chris Statlander and Red Velvet. Chris Statlander looks so much bigger than Red Velvet, who's proper mini micro person. So Statlander, I did like Statlander's alien gimmick actually. I just didn't think they did enough with it to get it over, but she looks all right now. Looks a bit more edgy. So yeah, I don't mind. She looks a bit more mean and edgy, so I don't mind that. I would have done something with the alien gimmick myself though, and really put some more time and effort into that. So I think you could have done a lot with that, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, Statlander looks good. Potentially, could be a bit of a star down the road. She was on the way, but then she got sidelined, didn't she? So Red Velvet, not super impressed. Just again, a very, very extremely small person, really. Yeah. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that one. Then we had an MJF segment, which is always good things. MJF and Wardlow, actually. So with the lashes, yeah, again, can't criticize this storyline at all. It's always quality, always good, always well thought out. So I don't know if these guys have a lot of input into the storyline, but always seems to be really good when they're involved. Yeah, just really good, and the fact that Wardlow didn't really react to the lashes was quite a nice touch, quite different. And actually, I tell you what I thought as well. It made Cody Rhodes seem really, really weak. Obviously, he was groveling around with his lashes. So it put Wardlow over and kind of buried Cody a bit. So I thought that was quite cool. And what I was thinking about watching this was AEW can't afford to lose MJF. I mean, matches. I mean, this shows a good example of AEW. Matches are good quality, but the thought behind it's just not there at all. And you always, if MJF's on the show, it's always going to be good. It's always good. It's always must see TV. So, and Wardlow's a star, but not in the same way. He's going to be a good babyface star, and he's got a bit of size, which is kind of rare for AEW as well. But they can't afford to lose MJF. Might be the best heel in wrestling, probably. Don't even think it's that close, really. So I hope it's an angle. I hope all this 2024 thing's an angle because, you can't afford to lose MJF. If there's anyone that I'm not a fan of WWE, obviously, but if I were WWE, I'd be giving this guy mega bucks because this guy is money, 100%. So there we go. Then we had an interview with Roppongi Vice, who challenged FTR for the ROH titles. I think that makes sense. Similar criticism again with Roppongi Vice. Never really got them over. No video package of what they did in Japan and no backstory of what they really did in Japan, particularly. I think they should have done. Cause I don't watch New Japan really. Bits and bobs, that's all. But so again, expecting everyone to know about these people, and they've never really gone into it much. But I think the team feels more Ring of Honor than AEW to me. So I think that'll be an all right kind of match, really. So could find that kind of interesting. So next up, we had an Owen Hart Cup match, another one, with Kyle O'Reilly against Rey Fenix. really like this match. Again, another great match. You had your typical mat wrestler, and very good mat wrestler actually, Kyle O'Reilly, against, I think, potentially the best high flyer in the world. I think could be certainly in the conversation. You know, if there's one criticism about Phoenix is he does take too many risks and it's going to end up his career's not going to go on very long. But I mean, great match. It was really, and to me, it kind of showed as well why real mat wrestlers are better than the high flying wrestlers. But I like the match and I like both these guys. Kyle O'Reilly, though, I hope this isn't just a one-off thing for him because potentially he's one of the best pure wrestlers in AEW. I mean, Combat Club, get rid of useless. This guy should be in the Combat Club. Perfect fit. I do like Red Dragon, but I mean, Kyle O'Reilly, I think he can be a big star. Smarten his gimmick up a little bit, as with most people in AEW, because they don't really do gimmicks really well. Everyone looks a bit like they've just walked off the street, but smarten him up a bit, give him a little bit of a gimmick. I think he's a big star if he's used right up. Just doesn't kind of slot back into tag teams forever. But yeah, because remember, and obviously this is the Owen Hart tournament on the Hart family. I mean, Bret Hart started off in tag team matches, didn't he, for many, many years, and then transitioned to a big single star. Very similar. I think Kyle O'Reilly can be that kind of guy. So, yeah, love the match. Again, another good match on the show. So again, AEW are putting on good matches, and this is what AEW is good at. Really, they are good at putting on good matches. I just think that Phoenix needs a lightweight title because I don't really think he's got anywhere to go in AEW, really. But I think a lightweight title would be phenomenal. I mean, Impact have got the X division, which is kind of that sort of thing, and that's must watch. Obviously I don't watch Impact, but when I used to do it was must watch TV. I'd be getting a lightweight title in there. Phoenix is anyone against Phoenix who's half decent high flyer would be an amazing match. So I think if you're going to bring more TV out and stuff, then I just think lightweight title. Yeah, bring it on. So I hope that's one of the things that Tony Khan's got up his sleeve, rather than the trios. I'd much prefer a lightweight title than a trios title or 6-man title, if I'm honest. But we'll see what happens there. So yeah, third good match really. Interesting. Jericho Appreciation Society next against the Blackpool Illuminations, Blackpool Tower Combat Club. I love the line. I love this opening line. Over 8 weeks, symbol of excellence in sports entertainment by the magic drug guy who's on drugs. Amazing. Love that line always. It went on a bit. This went on a little bit for me, but there's some good stuff in it. Jericho mentioned until you join the program with Moxley, the drug reference. Thought that was quite edgy, like that. Yeah, to me it did go on a little bit too long for me. This, but it were okay. A bit of back and forth. I did like the dissension at the end though, in the Combat Club and Kingston with Danielson and Kingston at the end. I thought that was really good. I thought, that's going to be interesting. So when I was watching this, I was thinking maybe Blood and Guts would have been a thing to do. I don't think they're going to go down that road, but I think Blood and Guts would be a nice idea for this. So, they haven't gone back to Blood and Guts, so I don't know why. That's crazy that. They do need some sort of big stipulation matches rather than these kind of falls count anywhere matches where they just fight all over arena all the time. Just don't really mean anything. They could do some proper stipulation matches, I think, and Blood and Guts is the only real one that they've got. So I'd have been utilising that myself. But, there we go. So interesting feud. But, yeah, a bit too much time for this interview. But there we are. Next up, Britt Baker against a Joker. And it was Maki Ito, kind of a bit of a Joker from Japan. A lot of people criticised Maki Ito. I quite like a gimmick. I think she's quite a fun character. I don't really think many of the Japanese women have got over, really. I think Maki Ito is quite interesting, though, quite an unusual gimmick. Got something to offer. But I think the Japanese women obviously suffer the fact that they don't speak English, most of them. So getting over is going to be a little bit more difficult. But I think out of all the Japanese people, I think she's one of the most interesting ones, I think. So, match was, all right. Just when I'm watching Britt Baker, though, and I do like Britt Baker, and I think she's got a really solid gimmick, but she's just got no momentum behind her moves at all. I mean, she is like a stick insect in stuff, but she's got no like momentum or impact behind any of her moves or anything. So but this is a bit of an AEW thing, really, I think. But I do like a gimmick, and I think she's very charismatic. But again, she just looks like she's very gangly and just looks, I don't know, very much like Adam Cole, really. That's like a couple of stick people in it. So yeah, so Britt Baker won, obviously, which you'd expect. But as I say, don't mind Maki. And this is what your Joker should have been in the men's one, not Johnny Elite, really. You just wasted a really good world champion there, just for nothing. So there we go. So after that, we had another interview with Serena Deeb. I love this interview as well. Again, I do love Serena Deeb, actually. I think looks amazing. She's got everything again. One of the few women in AEW that's kind of got everything. She's got the look, she can talk. She's she's got the skills. She looks legit, and like, unlike Britt Baker, and Serena Deeb's not a particularly big woman, but she looks like when she's striking, she looks legit, and she looks like she's doing some damage. Whereas Britt Baker, it looks like it's all behind it. So Serena Deeb's got it all for me. Might have been a little bit long again, if I'm honest, but I liked it. And I like Serena Deeb, as I say. There were a couple of lines I liked. She said she got breast implants to her body to satisfy some perverts, WWE presumably. So I thought that was a nice comment. I like that line. But yeah, she's a star. I'd like to see her win the title. Really. I don't think she will. I think they'll keep it on Thunder Rosa, but I'd like to see Serena Deeb win the title. I think she'd add some credibility to the title and the women's division as well, really, which I think's been continually under. Even though the talent's improving, it's continually being underwhelming, really. So there we go. Anyway, main event time. Owen Hart Cup again. Adam Cole against Jeff Hardy. So Hardy wearing pink and black attire was nice. Nice sort of nod to the Hart family. I like that. I like these little things to do. So sometimes when AEW gives the wrestlers free reign to do anything, sometimes it backfires, like when they wear stupid T-shirts and when they get overly political. But sometimes it works when they do this and shout back to someone. Those things are nice, but it just keep the politics out of it, really. If you want to grow your brand, at least. So Adam Cole, though, reminds me of a bobblehead. You know, the bobbleheads you can buy with the big heads. Reminds me of a bobblehead. Big head and small body. So, yeah. Again, it's a shame because he's got talent and charisma, but it looks like body looks like shit, though. That's the problem. It looks like shit, and you know, it just devalues any title that he's going for, really, or any match because it just looks like shit. That's the problem. It's a shame, though, and it's not something that couldn't be sorted. But obviously, there's no intention of actually looking half decent. You know, I don't think him and Britt Baker have probably ever been to a gym in their lives, probably. So, you know, obviously probably play video games. I don't know, but so yeah, another thing that made me kind of laugh a little bit as well when Adam Cole did a double clothesline from behind. I was worried that he might dislocate his shoulder because his arms look so skinny and he's got no muscle mass at all. So that kind of made me laugh a bit, thinking, "Oh, is he going to dislocate his shoulder by clotheslining someone?" But it didn't actually. It happened. But yeah, it was good. You know, it was an okay. You know, it was a good match. I'm not a big fan of Adam Cole's look, although I do think he's a talented guy. And I'm a big fan of Jeff Hardy. I think he's kind of been underutilized quite a bit in AEW so far, but hopefully the Young Bucks feud will kind of put him on the right track, I suppose. So yeah, so that was the show. So overall, you know, wrestling wise, actually, you know, it was actually a really all the matches actually were very, very good quality matches. A lot of them, there were a lot of Owen Hart matches there. I mean, like Samoa Joe, Johnny Elite, very good match. Take a shitter against Adam Page, good match. Swerve, Keith Lee, exhibition, not really proper match. I like the Lashes thing. Kyle O'Reilly, Phoenix, great match again. Mackie or Britt Baker, not much happening there really. And then the main event was, you know, so overall the wrestling was really good. There was just, again, some of the things around in the matches which could have been avoided weren't really great, really. Like, the thing I didn't like was bringing Johnny Elite in and just kind of jobbing him on his first match. That didn't make sense, but AEW do this a lot, but don't know why. They might need him one day. You know, might want to bring him in and do something with him, and now you just he's on one. So, and then there's the political thing again, which always seems to pop up because obviously, you know, I'm surprised they don't put a party political broadcast in the middle of AEW really for some candidate or some sort of I don't know, some sort of I don't know what anyway. But I mean, just find that I don't understand that. Maybe it's the network that's pushing this shit. I don't know, but you're not going to grow your audience. That's the problem. That's why a lot of people don't watch AEW, and why all the old wrestling fans don't watch wrestling, because they don't think it looks legit and they don't like being patronized and told what to think. That's the problem. So overall, match wise, really, really solid, good show. Yeah, a couple of the interviews went a bit long for me. Jericho appreciation, a bit long. Deeb, I like Deeb, but a little bit long that as well. But matches were good. You know, everything was all right. But it's just some of the decisions that AEW make don't make sense, and it's like they're actively working to make the brand less. To get actually working not to get the brand over, really, it seems like, you know, some of the stuff that they're doing. So I don't really understand that. But on a kind of related note, I did see an interview with Tony Khan on YouTube, I think, saying about something about, we're wanting to promote people from Asia and things like that, which is which is fine. Don't have a problem with that. And I might have really useless might have been mentioned or shown. I don't remember, but that's fine. But choose if you're going to push people that are decent. Don't just push them because they're from certain countries or backgrounds. That's just stupid. I mean, on this show, for example, take a shitter, great talent, get him in, get rid of useless. And the problem with and there's not a lot. The problem with the Japanese women, there's not a lot of legit Japanese women around, really. There must be some somewhere, but wherever they're going for the Japanese women, they're all small. They've all got nothing about them, really. Maybe they're looking in the wrong place. I don't know, because I can't imagine that every wrestler woman in Japan is like that. There must be. But I also think it's a problem with AEW creative gimmicks. I don't think they really know how to give people proper gimmicks, and sometimes when you've got someone who's got a lot of talent, all you need to do is give them a really good gimmick and a good look, and it gets them over. You can think of loads of people who are really talented. Like for example, on this show, Kyle O'Reilly, take a shitter, give both of those guys solid, good, decent gimmick and look, and they'll get over because they've got a lot of talent. But AEW can't really do this. So I don't know who's in charge of these, the creative and the gimmick and stuff, but they don't seem to do it. And I think that's why. And I think they're losing. They couldn't. There's a few of these people that could be really, really big stars. So anyway, kind of what I'm saying there. But so overall, it was a good show, wrestling wise, a good show. Some things, as I say, I didn't really like. Kind of AEW's decisions sometimes don't make sense, like I said. But I'm just trying to give a rating. I'd go 3.5. I was going to say 4, but apart those things that I mentioned that I didn't really like, that kind of annoyed me. But it wasn't to do with the wrestling. So, and I think this has happened again. I think this was previous week again, where the wrestling was all solid. It was AEW decisions and booking that let the program down. So, just goes to show, doesn't it, that you can have the best talent in the world, if you don't utilize them right, or if you try and insult the fans, you're not going to get yourself over. So, anyway, that's my review for the 18th of May 2022. So I'll be back probably in a few days, actually, with the next AEW, and then we've got obviously pay-per-view time. So exciting stuff. So yeah, thanks for listening. And if you got any comments, post the comments, and I might even reply to them. You never know. See you next time.